Hey, What the Suck family. As you may have noticed, we recently switched to Anchor for our podcast hosting needs.
That's right, we were using another site that had us paying $20 a month for services such as unlimited uploading, unlimited hosting, and distribution. Anchor will distribute your podcast to Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, and many more, and they do it all for free.
They make it super easy to create and start your podcast directly from their site. You can record and edit directly on the Anchor website or app directly from your phone.
It's your one-stop shop for everything you need to create your own show. They will even help you find sponsors to fund your project.
Just go to anchor.fm and get started today. There really is no easier way to do it.
What? No.
You suck! Oh my
Welcome back to What the Suck podcast. I'm James,
Now I'm Chris.
and we are ready for, what we got here? Episode 8.
Ocho, the Ocho.
And today's motion.
Motion. Today's Osho motion picture.
That's staying in.
That is staying in.
That's staying in. Today's motion picture is Horrible House on the Hill, a.k.a. Tantrums, a.k.a. Devil 5, I think.
Devil times 5.
Devil times 5. And I believe there's
AKA
one more.
Peopletoys.
People
This
Toys.
movie has 4 fucking names.
And I can probably understand why. They probably had to try to sell it 4 times to get over the finish line, and I guess they settled on Horrible House on the Hill because that seems to be the most prevalent title out there when you do a search for this movie.
It is, but I think it's actually the worst of the titles. I'd rather go with like Devil times 5. That sounds a little.
Devil times 5 is cool, but the problem is they don't explain the premise of the movie. So why don't you go ahead and run down the...
All right, so let's see. It's a 1974 American horror film directed
74.
by... Yep.
I was 7 years old, and Chris wasn't even born yet.
I got 5 years till I was born. 5 years at this point. So we're going back old school on this one, guys. So it's a 1974 American horror film directed by Sean McGregor. And
McGregor.
The movie stars Sorrel Brooke, Gene Evans, Shelley Morrison, and Leif Garrett. For the younger viewers who don't know who that is, just use Google.
Leif Garrett? Yeah, no kidding. But a little piece of trivia before we go. Does anybody know who Sorrel Brooke is?
I don't think so.
He is none other than, this will also be for the older listeners, Boss Hogg from Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and for younger viewers, we're not talking about the shitty movie with Johnny Knoxville. We're talking about the original show.
John
with
Schneider
John
and Tom
Schneider
Wopat,
and
Denver
Tom
Pyle,
Wopat.
and
Yep.
Catherine Bach.
Yeah. Ask your parents. Probably ask your grandparents at this point, but that's where the term Daisy Dukes comes from.
That's right.
Now,
back on track.
It also stars Leif's real-life sister, Dawn Lynn Garrett, and their real-life mother, Carolyn Steller. Carolyn Steller is their real-life mother, and she has a pair of stellar Carolyns in the movie, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The film follows a group of sociopathic homicidal children who survive a car accident in the mountains. The murderous fivesome seek refuge in a rural chalet inhabited by several vacationing adults, and I use the term adults very loosely.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, this is not one of those vintage horror movies you often hear about as being a classic.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've got let's see. Directed by Sean McGregor, as I mentioned, also by David Sheldon, but he goes uncredited, so he'd probably wish he'd stayed uncredited.
That's probably what he said. Leave me off of this shit.
So I sorry, David, I just busted your shit all up. Produced by Michael Blowitz and Dylan. Let me tell you something. That's an appropriate name because the fucker blew it.
Yeah,
so he blows it big time.
They're swinging a miss. You got that.
And right. Dylan Jones, written by Dylan Jones, screenplay by Sandra Lee Blowitz. Oh, they blew it twice.
Got a family affair going on.
Yeah,
here.
and John Duran, starring Sorrel Brooke, as you mentioned, as Harvey Beckman, Gene Evans as Papa Doc, Taylor Locker as Rick, Joe McCall as Julie, Shelley Morrison as Ruth, Carolyn Steller, as Lovely. It's a dumbass name. John Duran as Ralph, Leif Garrett as David, the leader of the wannabe Children of the Corn. That's another old reference. Ask your parents. Gail Smale, and
Hey, Smells.
yeah, Gail Schmuck, Dawn Lynn, Tier Turner, and Tia Thompson. Music by William Luce. Cinematography by Paul Hipp and Michael Shea. Distributed by Cinemation Industries. Released in May 31st, 1974. So, we're getting close to the anniversary date of this piece of shit.
That's right. Holy crap.
Right. So, yeah, this movie is an oldie, but not goodie. I'll save the review. I'll save the final score for later. But yeah, this. I first of all, I just want to say, as someone who was born at the end of the 70s, but because how every decade works, you end one decade, but that decade sort of proliferates through like the first 3 or 4 years of the new decade. So through '83, you still had a lot of the '70s sort of culture going on. So I still remember a lot of it, but I do definitely love the fact that this is a '74 movie, and it's a movie set in present time in '74. So you get all the great fashion, great vehicles. Unfortunately, you don't get any of the great music.
Well, actually, the music to me, we'll get to that later when we talk about it, but the music to me is strangely entertaining, and it adds to the comic. To the comical aspect of the movie because there is some yuck worthy.
Right. What I mean is that we don't get any of the great '70s rock and roll.
No.
There's no actual like official like songs or anything in
No,
here.
it's more like '70s porn music mixed with like '70s Brady Bunch / detective shows / drama shows, all different kinds of music. It is all over the place.
Yeah, it's all over the place. But it's I love the setting. I love the fashion. I love to see, it's a glimpse into that decade, that time era, and it's really cool to see it because all the movies we've done so far have been present day for the most
pretty
part.
much. Yeah, I was going to say, pretty much everything we've done has at least been in the 2000s.
Yeah, so
I don't think this is the first one, since from the last century.
Yeah.
So far,
this is the first one we've done prior to 2000. So it's good to go back, and a lot of these older movies are classics, but there's a lot more that are not classics. So I'm looking forward to getting into this, to diving deep into the Horrible House on the Hill, and
I'm
see
not.
Just and it actually earns its name, Horrible House, because it's pretty horrible. But without further ado,
let's rock.
Let's do it.
Let's get this over with.
Everyone has a secret nightmare about the ugliest way to die. Whatever yours may be, now it lives.
What are you yelling about?
Little people!
If you take them in, you'll be taken in, because there is no way to survive the devil times 5.
What about those kids? You gotta be kidding.
Whatever you think they are, they're not. Whatever you think they won't do, they will.
What are they?
They're piranha.
You mean you feed those little babies to those big ugly things?
Here, you wanna feed them?
Not since Village of the Damned has death become so brutal or survival so hopeless.
You psychopathics! Leave her alone! Leave her alone!
One by one, body by body. Death will come in its most dreaded form. They bring their own omen. And it is written in blood. The devil times 5 leaves nobody alive.
Well, this one's interesting. Mm-hmm. The Brady Family Murders, I want to call this one. I swear. The music is hilarious.
Yeah, music is so
70s
funny.
porn style. I mean, it starts out, credits, of course, and this yellow van rolling down the street, just chilling, playing some music. I'm like, what the hell? Then all of a sudden, for no reason, some bitch loses control.
Yeah.
And the van goes off the road, and you see him try to reach down to hit what we think is the brake. But if anybody's watching carefully, you see him mash the accelerator.
Yes. Yeah.
For some damn reason. So the van just rolls down the hill, kablam, kablam. I mean, rolls over like 20 times.
Yeah, and then like towards the end of it, they put it in slow-mo for like the last 30 seconds. And
so the wreck lasts for about 5 minutes.
And you're watching it, and so for our younger listeners, in 1974, some places did not require seatbelts, so the people that were in the back of the van would not have been strapped in. As the van's rolling down, pay attention to see the side doors pop wide open.
Wide open. Nobody flies out.
We don't see any bodies flying out. There should have been all kinds of kids flying out that fucking thing.
Okay, so first of all, when you're transporting a bunch of crazy-ass kids anyway, which we had no idea were in the van.
Right.
Although the movie in the synopsis explains that they are part of the movie, it doesn't tell you where they come from. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, when you're transporting crazy-ass kids, you don't let them just roam freely about the cabin. No. You have them secured, and of course, after the wreck, there's not a scratch on any of them.
Oh, they're all perfectly fine.
They're all perfectly fine. All the adults are dead, but they wander off, they walk out, and funny thing is, I actually like the kids. Most movies, kids are annoying to me, because they overact or they're just annoying or whatever. But I actually like him, including Little Leaf Garrett. Or should I say Leif? I don't know how you pronounce it. But and it's just too funny. I mean, the little soldier boy. Yeah, he's funny.
They actually annoy the shit out of me. All of them. All of them annoy the shit out of me because maybe it's not just them. Maybe it's the fact that we don't get a lot of background about who they are or what their names are or anything like that. They're just all of a sudden they're just there, and like the kid with the wannabe military kid is just annoying as fuck.
Well, so far in my book, this is just me, of course, I give the kids higher marks for acting than the adults in this movie thus far, which is pretty pathetic.
That's pretty pathetic, yeah.
Because right after the wreck, all of a sudden the happy music starts again, and here's our two other stars of the movie just rolling along.
Yeah, Rick and Julie.
Rick and Julie, yes.
Yeah. So they're planning a trip. They're going to stay at Julie's dad's house for a weekend, or Papa Doc.
Yeah.
And because he's gonna give Rick a job doing some shit, I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
Well, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway. And we've noticed the car, of course, they have a perfectly, it's not even a plowed road. I mean, the road has two sections for tires, obviously, that have been traveled. And these bozos are driving in the snow. The whole thing doesn't make any sense.
No.
It's boring, drawn out. The music's the most entertaining part. That's why I was getting a kick out of it. The music makes me laugh. It's ridiculous. So basically, then they go back to the kids. Getting out of the van, they're all talking. They all start to walk away and hear the shout of some little another one of the little brats that are in the van.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still alive in here.
Great acting, by the way.
Great acting.
Grade Academy Award winning acting.
This comes in and this is Leif Garrett's entrance.
Yes,
he's the one still in the van. So they get
him
out. What an
entrance!
And they get him out, and they take off on a trek. They just blindly take off in a specific direction. I don't know why. There's no reason to it. Nope. They just grab it and start walking.
Yep.
Don't even care. And for some reason, every time they show these kids walking through the snow, this 1940s alien invasion music comes on.
Yeah, it's the weirdest fucking
Outside
thing.
the wee,
It's like
Outer Limits
playing
crap
the
and
theremin.
stuff.
Yeah, it's so fucking. It doesn't go with the tone at all.
Yep, and then they go back to the house, of course. Shows the adults getting to the house, and they're introduced to Ralph, who is how do we put it? He's slow.
He's simple.
He's a little slow. He's a little
of
simple.
Mice and Men Lenny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. Absolutely. Even got his wabbits.
He does got his wabbits.
Okay, and there's a scene in there that's, I guess for me, I mean, for the 70s, yes. But in 2019, scene would not fly.
I mean, I've seen some shit in some movies, but this was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, because she was sitting here ordering this.
Who's sitting there?
Little Miss Big Titties.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Her name is Lovely. I wasn't saying lovely to the big titties. I was saying her name is Lovely. Not that I wouldn't say love, but whatever. Anyway, yeah. So Lovely is doing what now?
Well, she's sitting in the room ordering Ralph around. Just tells him, "Go do this. Go do that. Rub my feet. Do this. Oh, you're strong. Here, pick me up. Put me on the bed." And then starts basically to make fun of him and laughing at him, orders him, "Hey, take your pants down." So he does it.
Yeah, she's harassing
him. And it was just a weird scene, and they probably could have left that out. But she was basically trying to take advantage of the guy.
Yeah.
And his simple-mindedness, and it was just weird. I mean, I know, it's a stupid movie, but still, I was
pretty uncomfortable though. It's like wow.
But 74, PC didn't exist, and
sexually
harassing. I don't like PC from personally, but still, this was a little bit of a stretch even for back then. I didn't like it. And then we go to enter. What was the blonde?
Julie.
I'm not good with names. Julie.
Yeah.
He's the name guy. Yep, Julie comes walking in there and tells Ralph, "Pull up your damn pants and get out of here," and all this other crap. So he's like, "Okay."
Yeah.
He does his thing, and he starts wandering out. She's like, "Close the door, Ralph," or whatever the hell his name is, George. Can I help you catch a mouse, George?
Ralph. It's Ralph.
That's right. It's Ralphie.
Yeah.
And so he leaves the room, and the blonde starts talking smack because apparently they'd both been with the same dude.
Yeah.
I guess Rick.
Rick, the Terry Bradshaw looking motherfucker.
Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah.
With the 70s porn stash,
Yeah.
rocking it.
Then we get a great cat fight a la Star Trek.
It was
like I really was waiting for the dun 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 dun. Yeah, music.
That's right.
In. Yeah, it was really bad. Yeah,
you got to finish it up, man. It don't work unless you do the whole thing. But anyway,
I finished it. It's finished. The cat fight was finished.
The cat fight was ridiculous. It was almost slow motion.
Yeah,
choreographed, laying. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah,
let's just leave it at that.
Yeah,
and then in walks the drunk. The drunk woman, Ruth, and she's like, "What are you doing? Trying out for the Olympics?"
Yeah.
It's stupid. So far, it's pretty mind-numbingly boring.
Yes, it is.
Unfortunately, but it goes right along with the theme here.
Yeah, the script is non-existent at this point. I think everyone is ad-libbing in this entire movie.
And then we cut over to the 40s alien invasion music again. Woo! And here comes our 5 little creeps coming over the hill.
I guess that's the children's theme song, is that weird invasion music.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. So they make their way into the basement.
Yeah.
And there's only 4 of them. The other one stays outside to check out the house.
Let's not forget that they're being followed by the driver of the van, who apparently was alive, so he's following them.
That either one of their keepers or whatever, a doctor, I think he was. But yeah, you see him stagger out of the van eventually and start heading out, and he's talking to himself the whole time, and he's in pursuit. Luckily there's snow, so he's able to follow their footy prints.
Yeah, so then they get to the house. And then it goes into this 45-minute fucking slow-mo...
What appeared to be.
It felt like 45 minutes of them getting ready to kill the guy as soon as he walks in. It goes on.
Which
forever.
I'm sorry, but they don't even know that he's following them yet. I know they made reference to it.
Yeah.
They said, well, how do we know he's not going to come get us? Did anybody check to see if he was alive? And blah, blah. And they just walked off. And I'm sorry, but how do you prepare for something you don't know? But anyway, these little creeps make it into the basement. The Devil 5.
The Devil times 5.
Devil times 5.
Yeah.
They make it into the basement. We got Sister Mary F.U. on the pitchfork. And then we got little G.I. Joe on the hammer. And we got Leif Garrett.
Leif Garrett with some sort of weird pipe.
Little tiger beat on the pipe. Yep.
The little girl with the fish doll isn't doing shit, just standing there. And then the other girl went off to do a perimeter check. And the movie is in slow-mo for about 3 minutes.
At least.
While they beat this man.
He wanders in. He follows the footprints. I don't know how he caught up with them so fast because they were walking for a good hour or so before I think he popped out of the van. But then again, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, time has no meaning here, I guess.
Nothing has meaning in this movie.
Well, pretty much. It's pretty mind-numbing.
Yeah.
Anyway, he walks in there, and they proceed to slowly... It's like playing 16 RPM on the 78 RPM record. I mean, just real slow. The everything slowed down. The film colors changed. I guess I don't even know what the hell.
Yeah,
but anyway, she forks this guy good in the back.
Yeah,
he walks through there and puts him on the deck. And they come in there and they beat the snot out of this guy for like the next 5 minutes in slow motion.
Oh my God, it's so...
Feel free to fast forward because eventually little G.I. Joe does a karate chop, flying...
Oh, when he stabs him with a knife. Oh, by the way, yeah. So the kill shot is when they turn him over and G.I. Ho grabs his knife out and goes to do a stab and stabs him right in the chest or whatever. But pay attention. As soon as he brings a knife down onto the guy, take a look in your upper left-hand corner of the screen. You will see one of the cameramen appear in the shot for
what appears to be a shadow or the cameraman himself. I think it's a shadow, but yeah.
I think it's a cameraman because there's no one else in the room besides those people. So
pretty poor edit. Yeah. And the shadow was way taller than the kids, so it wasn't one of the kids casting a shadow. So so then they kill him. So that's the first kill of the movie and the only one for the next 45 fucking minutes. Yes.
Oh my God! What happens in the next 40 minutes there?
All we're treated to is a couple of cheesy attempts at sex.
Yeah, pretty bad.
We get to watch Boss Hogg work out.
Oh, that's so much fun and
in his underwear.
So it's basically more characterization. I'm sensing a theme coming along here lately. We got 2 back-to-back movies with 45 minutes of
character development. We have to watch out for that because it's just not where we want to go with it.
No, we don't.
So far, that's about where we've come to it, and so we're still waiting for something important to happen.
Yeah, so nothing. It's just been learning about these characters and what they're doing, who they are. Boss Hogg is this weak, spineless glutton of a man who wants the job that Papa Doc has given to Rick instead, but he can't bring himself to stand up for himself, and his wife's a drunk who just makes fun of him all the time.
Yep, and then the kids make their way into the living room.
Oh yeah,
and everybody, and this is where everybody's like, "Oh, look at there's people, there's little people in the room down here."
Yeah, they just appear.
They walk down here. Nobody says nothing.
Nope.
Nobody's calling the cops. Nobody's calling child services if they even existed in '74. I don't even know. They just take them in, feed them, and then put them down to bed, and then it's like all hell's about to break loose, but they just don't know it.
Oh, but it's taken us 46 minutes to get to this point where they may actually start to do something, but one kill in 46 minutes is a terrible, terrible, terrible ratio.
It's brutal.
I mean, so another half hour of absolutely nothing, and then they finally get another kill, which is the Ralph guy.
Yes, but he actually kills himself.
Yeah,
by accident.
As with everything else in this film, it's totally unclear because the editing is just so bad. Just cuts from thing to thing.
Just brace, folks, because the last few minutes of this thing is going to be all over the place because basically the editing just went to complete shit.
Yeah.
The second half of this movie. The killing finally gets going after they find Ralph hung up and they think the kids did it or something. They start getting suspicious, so the kids start to plot. They start organizing and start to individually annihilate the adults, starting with, I believe, Lovely, wasn't it?
Lovely, the first one they killed with
so.
And they killed her when she was taking a bath. Right?
She went to take a bath and she screamed at one of the little kids who yelled, "I hate you!" And she was in a hot bubble bath. Okay, this is important. And I guess the sister comes in. The sister whatever, Sister Mary F. U. or whatever, yeah. Comes in, shoves her head underwater, and is holding her down, so she's struggling. And then all of a sudden you see the other little shit come in there and start flipping fish into the water.
Yeah.
She apparently somehow managed to get the piranhas into a pan without getting injured.
Right.
And release them into the bathtub. And
so she gets piranha.
Anybody's got half a brain knows the minute a freshwater fish hits hot water, it's gonna go belly up.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it is a badass piranha.
Yeah.
No.
They all start chewing on her.
Well, superfish,
and they chew her to death.
They basically bite. She bites the dust. Yep. I mean, it tears her up. The blood effects are horrible. They killed
Boss Hogg for that, didn't they? Didn't David?
Boss Hogg, let's see.
David, because he was out chopping wood.
That's right.
He was out chopping wood, and David came up and wanted to help, and
Little Leaf came up
and just chopped him in the back of the head.
Chopped him in the back of the head and took him out.
Boss Hogg's dead. Then Lovely gets killed. Then who's next?
Next would be, I believe, Gasoline Lady.
Ruth gets killed.
Yep, right, Ruth. I got names for all of them, folks. I don't even want to remember their names because they all just they die and it's good.
They all are the same level of suck.
Yes.
So they kill her by pouring gasoline on her.
Now I'm gonna tell you what. Of all the death scenes, I think this one was the one that was actually, I would say, the most effective.
Okay.
With they dumped the gasoline on her from the second floor and douse her, and the little kid was looking at her, the one that she claims, "I love you," and all this crap, and she throws the lighter and tortures her, and the screaming is actually quite convincing. It doesn't sound piped or faked or anything. It actually sounds like some real screaming.
She's got a set of lungs on her, that lady.
Of course, she lasted longer than most people that are completely ablaze.
Yeah, fully engulfed on fire.
And screaming like that, she would have scalded her lungs within seconds. But it's okay for the, just for argument's sake.
Quit trying to bring logic into this movie, James. There's no logic in this movie.
The editing is a complete nightmare. It jumps all over the place. I mean,
like there's that scene where like after or before Boss Hogg is killed, they're all in the living room talking, and she's laughing her ass off, and she's drunk and she's laughing her ass off, and then all of a sudden it just cuts to her sitting next to a window drinking a bottle of liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Just a whole different room, whole different time. Just cuts right to it. Makes no sense. Doesn't have any continuity whatsoever.
Nope.
Just bam, just cuts. So anyway, so after Ruth dies, who dies after her?
After Ruth, I believe the next one up is Papa Doc.
Papa Doc, that's right.
Papa Doc says, "You little bastards." He gets pissed off because he killed her, and she starts running because they found out that. You know what it was? He saw them dragging Lovely through the snow.
Through the snow, that's right.
So he got pissed off and went after them and went into a building pursuing them. And before you know it, here comes little G.I. Joe swinging down on just a regular little swing and a rope with the sickle, was it?
They rigged the scythe into a swing that they put into the ceiling
and basically impaled him. Yeah. It was actually a clever little move. It was pretty good.
It wasn't too bad, actually. It made more sense than the fucking piranha bath.
So they took him out, and then they turned him into a snowman.
And then, so then it's just Rick and Julie left.
Rick and Julie, yep.
They board themselves up in a room in the second floor, and they
No, let's not forget. They run first. They're in the clear.
Oh, that's right. They tried it. Yeah,
they're
run
in the
out.
clear. They're running out there, and they go to shove on this boat. They're trying to push up on this boat to get it in the water, but it's middle of the winter, folks. The lake is frozen.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any. Yeah, there's not gonna go anywhere.
So they're like, "Oh crap, this was stupid." So they run back to the house and board themselves in the upstairs room with light furniture, of course. And they're sitting there waiting, and
They fall asleep.
She wakes up.
Cut to a
Instant
stupid,
cut.
slow motion shot from above of David climbing up a ladder. It doesn't show you where he's climbing to, why he's climbing to, how he got the ladder. It doesn't show any. He's not carrying anything, but it's a very slow shot of him ascending the ladder from above. It's terribly done.
It's horrible, guys. I mean, the movie falls apart really bad, and like I said, the editing is non-existent. It's like they didn't even edit it. It's like they just shot it,
It's like they
threw it
edited
together,
too much. They
or
edited
something.
way too
They
much.
chopped out so much. Well, anyway, little Leaf makes his way up the ladder, and she raises up to look. Julie,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Julie.
Last lady alive in the movie, raises up to see what's going on, and all of a sudden he's got a spear in his hand, and he goes through the window and stabs her in the neck.
Right in the neck, yeah.
Takes her out. She just like, ugh. And
She
just sits
dies
there,
instantly. Just
dies, gone. Not even a word. Randy freaks out, runs over there, grabs it, takes the spear, throws it out of there, and commences to yell at the kids, half-ass convincingly.
Right.
That I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to kill all you little brats and all this shit. So he basically goes downstairs, stops to get dressed.
Yeah.
Including a hat.
Including a hat. Because it's very important you have a hat so they can't see you.
His little golf hat.
Fucking golfer hat, yeah.
Well, anyway, he goes outside, and what happens, Chris?
So he's trying to sneak outside. He's trying to sneak out of the house while they're busy running around Papa Doc, making him into a snowman. He tries to sneak out, and he opens his door on the side of the house. And as he's walking out, they buried like three traps.
Three bear traps.
Bear traps. Three toothless bear traps.
Toothless, yes.
In the snow, and this motherfucker manages to hit all three.
All three of them.
One leg, two arms. He's stuck there. He's twitching like he's having a fucking seizure.
It's hilarious. Some of the facial expressions, they're laughable.
Absolutely useless.
He's like,
they come up, they stab him in the back. No, they don't stab him back.
They just
the
come up
sister cuts his throat.
They pull his head up.
Yeah.
And they slowly, and mind you, these are children.
Yeah.
Pull his head up, and then he just slowly cut his throat. The worst looking blood effects, horrible. Yeah. And then
everybody's dead.
Everybody's finally dead. They get them all upstairs, and they dress them all up for like some little tea party thing. And a couple of senseless freeze frames.
Yeah, every like 10 seconds there's a freeze frame for about a second, and then it continues on.
It's complete crap.
They decide that they're going to move on from the house and go find more people to play with. I think this is where the title Peopletoys comes from, because they made the...
That's possible.
They made these people into their toys.
Yeah, they just did, but then they left.
Yeah, and then it ends, and then...
That's it. And
the title card comes up, and instead of saying the end...
It says the beginning.
Oh, dear God, I hope
clever.
Not. Please don't.
How clever, Jesus.
And look, folks, I know it sounds like we don't know what we're talking about, like we're jumping all over the place. We went in the chronological order of the movie. That's how bad the fucking edit in this movie is.
It jumped out of sequence all over the place.
This movie was an hour and 28 minutes long. I think it was 2.5 hours long, and they realized how nonsensical it was, and they decided to cut it. But by cutting it, it made it even more nonsensical. It is absolutely horrible.
It's garbage.
Yeah.
So, all that being said, Chris, what are you going to rate this lovely motion picture?
So, given the acting was terrible, the non-existent script, I swear to God, I think they're all ad-libbing. No direction at all. This was not fun. I am going with a 5. This is my 5er. This right here is a 5. This is a 5, which what was it again? It was means. Oh yeah, the 5 means you watch it once with friends. So bad it's bad, and take some sort of drug to erase it from your memory.
Yes.
All right. What about you, James?
If not, be completely wasted before you even watch it.
Yeah, maybe get wasted before you watch it, and then yeah.
Because for me, it wasn't quite a 5 turd this time.
Okay.
The music is laughable.
Uh-huh.
So there were a couple of slightly amusing moments for me. Yes, the acting was pathetic.
Yes. Oh God, yeah.
The acting's pathetic in most of the stuff we've watched so far anyway, but the acting is out the window. So long. I mean, the kids did okay. The adults completely sucked. I mean, it was funny. I actually gave more credit to the kids than I did the adults in this movie, even though they were highly annoying little bastards.
I can see that, though. They were definitely...
Story, I actually gave it like a 2 or 3, pretty high rating for the story because the actual premise was cool. Escape mental kids, going on a killing rampage. It sounded cool. I was like, okay, great. Script, nah. Yeah. The dialogue was poor. It was all over the place.
Yeah.
Effects were lousy.
Oh my God, they were so.
I'm sorry, the blood effects were lousy.
It wasn't even blood.
And it was sorry. And the direction, I don't even know if there was a director. There may have been one on there, but I think he walked off the project in the first couple days.
There was one that was uncredited. I think he wants to stay uncredited. So.
Yes. So, my friend, I am with you. I take 5 turds, roll them up in a big ball.
So you are going 5.
I'm going 5 on this one because I'm going to roll them 5 turds into one big giant turd and slam dunk them in the toilet.
I'm going to roll those 5 turds and I'm going to smoke the shit out of it, literally.
Yeah.
I need to get this out of my memory. This was not fun. It was difficult to get through, and it was so boring for the first 45 to 50 minutes of it. And it's only an hour and a half long. So,
and like I said, we do want y'all to watch it, but just take heed and remember that this one's actually got... I mean, they're not all winners, folks.
Yeah, be intoxicated when you see this.
Yes, because that way, at least the 70s music and stuff, you'll get a kick out of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Actually, smoke weed when you watch it. That'll make more sense if you smoke weed, probably. But, matter of fact, I think you have to be on weed to understand this movie. Because it was made in the 70s. Yeah, exactly.
And Terry Bradshaw and
Terry Hogan.
Bimbo.
Terry Hogan. Yeah, I call Rick Terry Bradshaw.
Boss
then I call him
and all them.
Hulk Hogan.
Not even Boss Hogg could bring it home for this one.
Not at all.
Little Leaf, total strikeout. But like I said, the best thing about this movie was the beginning, aka the end.
Yeah, oh my God.
I'm sorry. I'm glad it's over.
Oh man. But it was fun. It was fun. Yeah. It was fun watching each of us experience all the pain in this movie.
That's what it is. It's a lot of fun. You get a kick out of sharing the misery, you know, and laughing about it. That's the whole point.
That's what it's all about.
So for me, that's pretty much it, man. I'm done with this one.
All right. So where can they find us, James?
They can find us on Facebook under What the Suck Podcast. We are on Twitter. We are also on Instagram. Our podcasts are on Castbox.fm. They are on iTunes, and we are also on Spotify.
All right, and get on the social media, guys. Send us your reviews of these movies if you end up watching them. Tell us what y'all think.
Yeah, we'd love to hear that.
Send us suggestions if you have any. If you know a movie that's really bad that you want us to watch, let us know. We'll take a look at it.
Absolutely. So until the next episode, I'm James.
I'm Chris.
Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.
God bless your souls.